I've been an NVIDIA Shield Pro fanatic the past decade. It's an amazing device, but I live and breathe inside of YouTube as my main entertainment, and I'm sick of not having HDR in the YouTube app, and I'm tired of waiting for NVIDIA to release a new product. I was told by other reviewers that the Google TV streamer was not even close to the Shield Pro. But is that true, or is this device good enough to replace my beloved Shield? There's a few items I'll need to cover in order to do that. I need smooth 4K playback, and not just from streaming apps like Netflix, but also from Plex, including remuxes, a smooth interface with no lag, and I needed to work with my TV's power and my Bose soundbar. Let's find out if it gets the job done. I was too excited to record the actual unboxing, but once you do, you get a very sleek streamer box in a white color, or if you're feeling adventurous, the other option is hazel. It's a very interesting oval or pill shape, which is similar to the remote, and I like both of them. The unit itself brings a power button, a USB port for charging, a 1 gig Ethernet port, and a HDMI 2.1 port. The streamer measures 6.4 inches long, 3 inches wide, 1 inch high, and it's 5.7 ounces heavy. For the features, you're gonna get 4K HDR, 60 FPS with Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and HLG. For audio formats, you get Dolby Digital Plus, and Dolby Atmos. You're gonna get Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.1, 4 gigs of memory, and 32 gigs of storage. For pricing, I paid $79 in December 2025, which is a good price in my opinion, especially when comparing to older devices like the Shield Pro, which is still around $200. Now, one of the most important aspects of having a streaming box is having a smooth user interface. When I'm browsing content, whether it's Plex or YouTube, I don't want to see any lag or slowness, which drives me just nuts. This device makes everything seamless. You're able to smoothly switch between apps, and when playing intense content like 4K direct play from Plex, it plays it without missing a beat. Now, because I don't like ads in the interface, I ended up installing Projectivity Launcher, which gets rid of the ads and gives me just the apps, but more on that once I get to some of the cons. Besides having a smooth interface, the most crucial factor is being able to play back smooth 4K content from Plex, at least for me. And I mean, even remuxes can go up to 80 gigs or more. If you don't know what a remux is, it's a movie file that keeps the original video and audio quality as it is on a Blu-ray discs, just repackaged into a different container like a MKV without re-encoding, just pure raw original data. That's what we love. I'm happy to report that this streamer box played everything I threw at it without missing a beat. Honestly, I was not expecting this, especially since some of the reviews I saw mentioned that it's only good for streaming apps, but not for Plex. I'm disappointed, that's not true. One remix that I tested was Blade Runner 2049. I played it smoothly without seeing one single stutter or frame drop. Here, take a look for yourself. When running F1 the movie, which is 4K HDR10 and Dolby Digital Plus for audio, it did not stutter once, and we were glued throughout the whole movie. It was nice speeding with Formula 1 along with Brad Pitt and the beautiful cars featured in the film. When testing out the Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey, we felt our skin get burned along with the kids. Sorry, kids. And the bus with the beautiful 4K HDR10 and Dolby Digital Plus as well. Not once during the test has a Google streamer lagged or shown any weakness. I also tested Tron Ares, Furiosa, Dune, all in 4K, and I was a happy camper. If you use streaming services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, you're still gonna have zero issues, which is probably what 80% of people use their devices with. You can also do frame rate matching, which is nice to be able to match the frame rate of movies at 24 frames per second and not being forced to watch movies that are 24 FPS at 60 FPS. I tested this feature with Netflix when watching Stranger Things, on TV Made when switching between live TV, and with Plex, which is a real nice feature to have. It's 2026 and I should not have to view YouTube without being able to play HDR content. Come on, Nvidia, I'm talking to you. And yes, I know not every video is HDR, but I still want the option to be able to. I don't want to keep pretending like HDR doesn't exist within YouTube just because I use NVIDIA Shield Pro and I'm a fan of it. When testing HDR content with YouTube, it looks great. The color pops out the screen, and the most important thing, everything plays fast without any lag. The Shield Pro is unable to decode AV1 content because it has 2019 hardware, which is not able to decode these types of HDR content from YouTube. Buying a newer device like the streamer will give you Android 14. If you're still on version 11, the interface is going to look the same, but behind the scenes you get better boot times, smoother scrolling, enhanced energy efficiency, the latest security updates, and better performance when multitasking. Overall, this could be why everything feels buttery smooth, even if the CPU is not as strong as the one in the NVIDIA Shield Pro. Now, the control has a nice small flat size and looks very sleek, which I like. I enjoy being able to control my TV's power, my volume from my Bose soundbar, and the streamer all with just one control. The buttons for YouTube, Netflix, and a spare one, which I have mapped to Plex, is also a nice touch. What I don't like is the top circle area because it's on the smaller side, and at times I fat finger and I accidentally press on the center button instead of going to the sides. I don't like the power button at the bottom, and at times I have to physically look at the control to power it off since the power button is tiny and at the bottom. Now, not everything is perfect with the streamer box, and the biggest con for me is gonna have to be the massive amount of real estate the homepage takes up with ads. Yes, there are movie and TV show ads, but when I'm ready to use a device, I want the first option to be all of my apps so I can quickly jump on the app that I want. I don't want to be faced with a massive ad, and worse yet, then still have to scroll down to find my apps. And the NVIDIA Shield, it's a little less intrusive as I have the apps available right away while the ads are on the back and not interfering. It annoyed me so much that I replaced the default launcher with Projectivity Launcher, which lets you remove the ads, you customize your app icons, and you can load custom wallpapers, which is super sick. I still get the buttery smooth experience, and now I instantly access all of my apps right away, no ads. Now, I'm coming from the NVIDIA Shield Pro, which had AI upscaling, which is a great feature. This is not available on the streamer, but if I'm being 100% honest, most of the content that I see is high quality that I haven't really noticed missing this feature that much. So it doesn't bother me, but it may bother you. Now, the Shield Pro is king with audio, and the streamer will be lacking Dolby True HD or DTS HD, which is lossless audio. But if you don't have surround sound, if you're not an expert in audio, you're probably not gonna even notice a difference. That's the case for me, as I have just my Bose soundbar along with a subwoofer, and it's plenty good for my setup. Now, while the streamer has a USB-C port, it's also only used for powering the device. I realized this when I was trying to load my TV Mate settings from a USB-A device, and I could not do so. It should at least have two USB-C ports, one for data and one for charging, but unfortunately it does not. I had to download an app that is able to send files over the network. It's hard to say this, but the Google TV Streamer 4K has now replaced my Nvidia Shield Pro. I enjoyed the smooth experience, throwing 4K content at it, and being able to change the launcher to something that makes me extremely happy. Should you get this device? Well, you're gonna be happy if your content is from streaming or Plex, and if you're not an audio freak where you're gonna freak out without lossless audio support. Personally, I'm enjoying the device, and if Nvidia does ever decide to give us a new Shield, I might just give them a shot again. But for now, hasta la vista. If you enjoyed this content, support the channel by subscribing and giving the video a like. Until next time, Ultratech out.